Welcome to the Privacy News Online Weekly Recap, where we bring you the latest privacy news stories from around the world. My name is Brian Tong, and I'm your host. Here's the latest from Privacy News Online. Representatives Garcia and Wagner introduce Earn It Act to the House. The Earn It Act has officially been introduced to the House of Representatives. Now, the Earn It Act previously passed the Senate Judiciary Committee earlier this year and has bipartisan support in both the House and the Senate. Now, for those that haven't heard of it, the Earn It Act is the government's latest legislative attempt to outlaw encryption in the name of saving children. That's why it is so important to reach out to your rep and tell them to vote no on the Earn It Act. How blacklight illuminates the murky world of ad tracking, key logging, canvas fingerprinting, Facebook pixels, and more. Blacklight is a new website by The Markup that allows users to see just how much ad tracking there is on seemingly clean corners of the internet, the same way that you might use a blacklight to check a hotel room or used car for cleanliness. Now, you can check websites to see whether they are tracking you on behalf of Facebook, recording what you're doing on the website, and so much more. And it's always nice to see new tools like this. French bar owners arrested for offering free Wi-Fi but not keeping logs. At least 5 bar owners in France have been arrested for breaking a little-known law that requires bars, restaurants, and nightclubs to log internet activity on public Wi-Fi offerings and store those logs for a year. While the law has been in effect for over a decade, one of the arrested bar owners commented that he was never told about the requirement, and the reaction to the news seems to show that most people didn't know either. Come on, France! You have to have better things to do than crack down on this. So, P&O wants to know, what's the weirdest thing you've ever looked up on the internet while at a bar? I honestly don't know if I want to see these answers, but hey, comment below and your comment could be read during next week's episode. And if we read your comment, you'll get 1 month of free VPN service from Private Internet Access so you can have a log-free internet experience. Now, last week we asked you, have you ever stopped doing business with a company that suffered a data breach? Who and why? And this was our favorite answer. I used to do that back in the day, but breaches are so common now, I've just reorganized my life to minimize the impact on any one breach. PIA hides my IP, I have a debit card that I only put money into when I need it, password manager so even throwaway sites get unique passwords. Thanks, Jishin Hua, for sharing your answer, and since we read your comment, you're going to be receiving that 1 month of free VPN subscription to Private Internet Access. Definitely try out PIA's innovative next-gen VPN network. It has increased security, it's faster, and is better for streaming. To use it, all you have to do is update the latest version of the PIA VPN app. Let's check out the latest cybersecurity news from Josh, a cybersecurity expert from Intego, developers of award-winning security software.
Here are this week's top cybersecurity stories, brought to you by Intego. Google has a new Android partner vulnerability initiative. Google now publicizes security issues found in third-party Android devices, holding Android OEMs more accountable. The US Department of the Treasury has warned that if organizations that fall victim to ransomware pay specific entities, or any entity based in certain countries, the victim could be fined by the government, so keep good backups to avoid ever having to pay a ransom. The IPStorm botnet has expanded from Windows to Android, Linux, and Mac. IPStorm infects Android devices with their ADB port exposed, and it performs SSH dictionary attacks against Mac and Linux. P&O viewers and listeners can stay protected with Intego's Mac or Windows protection software. For a special discount, use the link in the episode description. That's it for now. Back to you, Brian.
Thank you, Josh, and to learn more about Intego, check out the links below, but let's get back to more privacy news. US official alleges big tech has started giving Hong Kong user data to China under new national security law. An unnamed US official has stated that big technology companies have already started giving up Hong Kong users to the Chinese government. The data handed over by tech companies could be used to incriminate Hong Kongers for involvement in protests or being pro-democracy. This is exactly why many people in Hong Kong deleted their accounts when the national security law was first introduced. U.S. judge dismisses New Mexico privacy claims against Google. A privacy lawsuit by New Mexico against Google about the privacy of children has been dismissed. The case centered around the use of Google on school computers and whether parental permission was needed. The district judge ruled that federal law didn't require Google to get express permission from parents before children used Google products at school. New Mexico's top prosecutor has vowed to bring the case back. Google to cite rivals in privacy in US lawsuit defense. The fight over Google's upcoming antitrust lawsuit is still brewing, but we're starting to see what Google's strategy will be to convince lawmakers that they are not a monopoly. besides trying to point fingers to other tech companies, Google is likely to argue that moves such as removing third-party cookies from Google Chrome were taken in the interest of user privacy, not to hurt every advertiser except Google. This is going to be a lawsuit worth watching. Now it's time for Privacy Talks. Privacy Talks brings you interviews between Privacy News Online's Caleb Chen and influencers, activists, and experts from pro-privacy organizations around the world. Let's go to Caleb, who recently caught up with Hanna from Tutanota to talk about encrypted email, calendar, and more. Check out the link in the description to watch the full interview, but for now, check out the highlight reel.
Email is like a postcard, so every email you send is readable by everyone who has a bit of knowledge with the internet. People think no one would actually read their emails, but this is not even necessary because there are state agencies or malicious attackers, and they can search the web. For normal emails, they can search it for keywords like IBAN or social security number, and then they only read the emails that contain the keyword. So they don't even have to read every one of your emails. They just pick the important ones.
Noticed a lot of governments seem to be trying to ban encryption. Why do you think that is a bad idea?
Oh, it's not only a bad idea, it's also a stupid idea, because governments, they need encryption themselves. They need to encrypt their communication. They need to keep it secure from foreign secret services. Businesses need encryption. They need to keep their business secrets secure from the competition. So basically, we all need encryption, and actually we use it daily, like online shopping, online banking, online communication. It has to be encrypted, otherwise it's just out in the open. And then on the other hand, there are also people like doctors and lawyers. They have to encrypt their communication. They have to keep it secure by law. So how would it work if then the government says we need a backdoor?
Check out the link in the description to learn more about Tutanota. Now you're up to date on the latest privacy and cybersecurity news. Privacy News Online is brought to you by Private Internet Access, the award-winning no-log VPN service who reminds you to always use protection. Now, whether you use the internet to stream, torrent, or just browse, a VPN subscription from Private Internet Access will hide your IP address and location, block ads, malware, and trackers, and it will even unblock geo-restricted content so you can stream your heart's desire wherever you are in the world. Don't wait another second. Sign up for Private Internet Access now and get up to 2 months free using the link below, where you can also find a link to learn more about all the stories in this week's Privacy News Online. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Brian Tong, and we'll see you next week.